what you're suggesting is fine and dandy.
Oh, please address the comments to the chair.
Okay. The only thing I want to say is that the Homestead Preservation Act that was for seniors worked very well. It didn't impact the assessment department to the point of, well, the first year it did. The first year we were almost out of our minds doing all the work that needed to be done. But the Homestead Preservation Act really helped our seniors. You didn't have to have somebody be the police of how old somebody is, whether they're eligible or not. The impact on the assessment department, if you freeze the values for seniors and not anybody else, is huge. So I'm just saying you might want to go in the direction that the Homestead Preservation Act worked. It worked beautifully. We had several, I can't even tell you, well, I guess I could go back and pull out the numbers, but we probably had 5,000 or 6,000 senior citizens in Clay County that benefited from that. Some of them as much as $300 or $400, some of them as little as $25 or $30. And then when it went to the Department of Revenue, and all they had to do was file with the Department of Revenue with their assessed value, it just flowed a lot easier. When you start freezing values on property, you've got issues that the value's one thing, the levy's something else. And no one except you three have the ability to set the levy for Clay County, and then everybody else, all the other tax entities set their own. So even if you freeze a value and the levy goes up, you haven't succeeded in what you're trying to do.
Thank you very much. One of the things that, just for context purposes, I remember when the Homestead Preservation Act was being proposed, I remember reading a comment in one of the papers that, well, that's not really going to make any impact on seniors. What can they do? They can buy a McDonald's hamburger once a month. The average, I think, return for seniors was somewhere around $350. So you can do it. You can buy a lot of McDonald's hamburgers for $350, and seniors have a lot better ways to spend their money than either spending on McDonald's hamburgers or paying into the government. They have needs that are greater than many of the government needs. With that, thank you very much, Representative Corlew. We look forward to seeing the progress on that bill and other pieces of legislation that you would be putting forward. Public hearings. Seeing none.